New day. So we're back in the garage. You know, I keep saying we, but actually today we have a we. Say hi, Zach. Zach is pulling apart yet another LS, just an LM7 5.3 out of a Tahoe, to see how much we can salvage for that. He's got the J4000, which we've seen, and that's, or a combination of that one and one that's in that pile in there somewheres, will hopefully end up in his truck. Myself, yesterday, I started to film everything and didn't catch that the camera was not charging at all. Smudge. So I filmed, or did a whole bunch of work yesterday and didn't film any of it. And then eventually the battery died while I was not filming. And so we are where we are today. So I got a lot done yesterday. Currently, I have motor mounts mocked up, exhaust manifolds mocked up. The engine is sitting in there. The car is on its own weight. I made or modified the stock cross member to work with the Turbo 400. It fits in there exceptionally well. So today what we're going to do is pull all that back out, and I'm going to finish welding the motor mounts, finish up the tranny mount, cross member, and then hopefully this either today or tomorrow gets stuck back in where I don't have to pull it again. And then we can start assembling stuff. I still have no idea when my floor is supposed to be here. It is what it is, like it was before. But I want to get as much done as I can until I do have a floor. I don't think it'll take a whole horrible long time to get the floor stuck in there. Maybe just a couple days. I have to put in, you can kind of see where I did the manual box. I don't know if you can see that, but going from a power steering box to a manual box, that shaft is too short, so I've got a shaft coming for the column that will be able to connect those. And then we're back steering and stopping and close to driving. Those that have a keen eye will notice that the motor is offset to the passenger side. Chrysler did that because they were stupid and put the steering box and steering column right where the engine should be. I don't know why they did that, other than, I don't know, they did. But all Chrysler motors in this era are offset to the passenger side for that reason. This is no different, but it is sitting in there good. Currently at the set it is right now, it's tilted back about 6 degrees. When the front gets lowered and the back gets raised, and I get that 70s era or early 80s, late 80s, my muscle car era, what I consider a muscle car, it will get that, should lift that, get that closer to back to a 30-degree tilt. So that's why I set this the way it is. Another thing I've learned is, even with the slant 6 torsion bars, which I was under the impression were lighter weight than the V8 torsion bars, the slant 6 is substantially heavier, because with this motor and transmission in it, it is the front sitting about 3 inches higher than what it was stock, and I want it lower yet. So there'll be some adjusting of the torsion bars, because I want this lowered in the front, raised in the back, big in littles, and obnoxiously loud and scaring little old ladies down the highway. So without further ado, let's get this motor pulled and get to welding. So we're out. Sitting back on the ground. Zach's stealing my tools.
Stealing tools.
This is what we have for motor mounts currently. I've got some work to do to get them right. But my goal is today to get these finished welded in, get some spacers in there, get this all boxed in, and I've got to clean up that, run some flap disc over the top of that, get that cleaned up and painted, clean that up, and then the motor can go in and won't have to come back out. So we'll film that and show you what we do. So, appreciate you guys watching. Looks like I got some dirt on my face. Can't stay clean in here. It's turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Zach got kind of hosed on that engine. We were told it was good, and the only thing we were able to salvage on there was the intake, fuel injectors, the alternator, the brackets. That's about it. Had rust in the cylinders, heads were junk, blocks junk, cranks junk. So that wasn't very good, but that right there made up for it all. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next time. Thanks. You see that? That is my floor. We are going to figure out how to do the wrong thing or the right thing the wrong way today. I think I've mentioned this. No idea what I'm doing when it comes to this. I know what I want done, what my finished product to be. I think the only way to do this is to do through the windshield or the back glass, but I'm not ready to pull that out just yet. So I think I might end up cutting this in half to get it inside to do it. I don't know. Well, I know that's not probably the right way, But I think that's the way it's going to happen today. Little heads up, or a little back on where we're at. I've ordered some parts here. The temperature's dropped here in Lakeview again, so I'm going to run the heater, so there won't be a whole lot of audio. Turns out every time I run the heater in here when we're filming, it sounds like the wind's blowing all the time. So probably not much audio. But here's where we're at right now. So this motor is in. Mounts are in, done. I did a quick little rattle can paint job on it. The K-member is in, gusseted, ready to go. I'm still waiting on the steering column piece. There's a shaft coming for the steering column. I ordered new exhaust manifolds. You guys saw these that I mocked up. Those aren't mine. I just borrowed them. But I bought new manifolds, 2 1/4 exhaust kit, and some MagnaFlow mufflers to run on this. So it should sound pretty good. I never like glass packs, and I also notice that I say a lot. I apologize for that. I have never been a public speaker, even though I'm speaking in my garage. So there it is again. I don't know why I do it all the time, but I do. So I apologize. I'm going to try not to do it as much, but I think it's going to be me, and I don't think it's going to change too much. But right now, what I'm looking at doing until I get more parts, now that I have this fancy floor with the upside down Mopar sticker. I'm an idiot. I don't know what to say. I am going to try and fit this floor in. I think what I'm going to end up doing is cutting the stuff I need out of the front, and I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it probably back where the back seat mounts. Probably somewhere in here, or not where the back seat mounts, but I'm probably going to cut it right in here somewheres. And what I'll do is just tab it so I can fully weld it across, but I'll have a tab to give it some support back. There's a seat mount here and one about here that ties it into the frame. And then obviously this ties it, so it should be pretty strong. I can't see it being an issue. This floor is, it's so much better than what I had. I can't see anything I do being a detriment to it. I mean, this is not a concourse restoration. I don't intend it to be. I'm not that good at stuff like this. I can stick big pieces of metal together and make them so they won't come apart. But as far as finish work and stuff like that, I don't know how it's going to look. But I want a floor, and I want to drive this, and I have a floor here, and I'm going to make the two work somewhere or another. I think I showed you guys the rust down here. There's some rust along here on both sides. So I think I'm going to have to patch that stuff in after the fact. Might have to do it ahead of time. I don't know. But I do know I need to get that stuff out before I can even think about doing anything else. So that's what we're going to do. Tonight we're going to clean this up and maybe cut some of this floor rust out. See if I can patch in some 16 gauge. And or maybe I think I have some 18 gauge somewhere around here. We'll see if I can patch that stuff up roughly and see if we can make it work. Let's get going and we'll time lapse some of this and see if we can make it look good. I can't wait to get to Roseburg and get my parts. I ended up getting a fairly good deal. I think I told you I have new doors. I have a whole dash, which is pretty good. I don't know if I need the whole dash, but I do have a better dash cluster that it's out of a 70, so it'll kind of change that. The pads, I think this is Bondo on top of my dash pad. So I don't think that's necessarily great. But someone was telling me about rust in the vents. I don't know where that would be. Maybe in the heater. I don't know. Don't care. Don't care. I think it's probably going to be in the windshield. And I'm not going to pull the windshield until I have it here. And I know it's going to work. And so that's where we're at. So without further ado, let's get to whacking. I'm going to turn the heater on and make it warm in here and see what I can get done tonight. So thanks. Keep watching and we'll show you what we'll get done. Thanks. All right, we are back. I did some work yesterday. I didn't film any of it. Well, simple fact is I didn't want to look stupid on camera. I'm going to look stupid anyways, I think, to some people. But it is what it is, and I think this is going to be what I'm doing. Well, not think. This is what I'm going to do. So after measuring and going back and forth on all the different options I had to put this floor in, the easiest is not the right way, but it's the way I went with. I think the right way to do it would have been to pull the windshield out and slide it in through the windshield and then back and down in one piece. It would have looked better that way, for sure, but I'm not in a position. I don't have my new windshield yet. Well, my new to me windshield, and I'd rather have progress than wait and not make my deadline that I've set for myself. So what I did was this. It fits fairly well, especially the front half. The back half I haven't fitted yet, but it will fit just fine. And I think it's going to be good. But this is what she looks like right now. So what I did was I cut the floor into, I cut 1/3 of the floor off, basically the back third. And this is what it looks like. So currently it's screwed in to the sides. I've matched up everything on the front. The seam along the front is good, except for where I have to replace the rust spots. This is where I have the back. So the new floor comes up to right here. So what I'm going to do is I'll trim the old or the new floor to fit this. And where I cut here, I'm going to take some 16 gauge and run across the whole length and have basically a tab stick out maybe an inch, and I'll weld it on the bottom side and I'll weld it on the top, and that'll give me a place to get a good seam and put a little bit of rigidity back into this panel it welds along here, and then I'll weld it down through here, come across here, and then across there. This is all surface rust. You can see it cleaned up pretty good, and I'll treat it. But it's going to work. The floor fit really well. What I've done is, like I said, I screwed it down. It's where it's going to be, except for I'm going to pull it back out now, and I marked where all the cross members and things are, so I can come from the bottom and drill holes for spot welds across, like the seat mounts and the tranny cross member, all that stuff, up the floor or up the foot where the foot rests. I've got that marked so I can go through and put spot welds everywhere. And the good metal that's on the firewall, I've got that marked so I can spot weld there. I've clamped it. You can probably see, maybe. Down there you can see a little bit of clamp. So that's where we are. It's gonna work. Might not be perfect, might not be the way an actual body guy would do it, but it's the way I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna work just fine. So I'm gonna get this floor out, get some holes drilled, and then I'll put it back in, and then I'll probably time lapse some welding. By the time you see this, you probably will see you'll probably see the video of me doing the floor. I'm going to try. I haven't made the video yet. I've got a lot of footage that I need to maybe do some editing is the best way to put it. There's a lot of butt in there. Not necessarily butt, but let's just say I need to wear a belt. So apologize for that, but the video's cool. I think it'll work out pretty good. And let's get to it. We'll see you soon. Okay, floor's in. I ran out of gas and metal yesterday, so everything's welded on the floor pan. This is patched. I have some rust there that I still need, and I have a hole over the in the driver's side that I need to patch. But I can't do any of that until I get some more gas and some more wire. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the grinder and clean up a little of the welds, and I think then I'm going to jack this up and get the rear end pulled so I can put that 8 3/4 in. So we'll throw some time lapse on, and we'll keep you informed and updated. So here we go. I got a floor. Been a long day. Camera died in the middle of the time lapse, of course. But I've got the floor pan completely in, welded everywhere. All the spot welds done. I have to clean up some stuff. I've got the floor repaired on the passenger side. I've got to come up with some sheet metal to do the driver's side yet. Everything lined up good, except for, and I don't know why, I seamed it right here. I lapped it with a piece of 18 gauge underneath it, so it sits solid. I've got 4 billion tack welds, but for some reason, and I can't figure out why, this did not line up here. It lined up here on the bottom. I don't know if it's supposed to be at a different angle, but the floor didn't move. The door jambs are still the same, so I'm not sure what happened there. I did overlap in the back, so it might have, I would think it'd push it down, not up. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's in, and I'm not concerned with that. I don't care. If I wanted to, I could just slit it, push it down, and redo this. Again, I'm not a body guy. I loathe body work. Sheet metal work is the worst thing on earth. Those guys that do it every day are amazing. I've done it for, well, just the floor pan, just putting the floor pan for 2 days now, or 3 days. Well, 2 days after working all day today, and I'm beat. Like I said, I have this floor patched. There's a rust spot on the tunnel that I've got to take care of, where I couldn't get that, and the floor up front at the bottom of the column, where the floor meets the firewall, got to repair that. But everything else, seams are spot welded. Everything's good. It's super solid. It doesn't move. Like I said, all the door jambs are lined up perfect. Everything's great. I'm super happy. I can't wait to get that. Hopefully I can come up some tin tomorrow, get that cut in, and then spend a little bit of time with some grinders and clean that up and clean the burrs off everything, and then seam seal it, and then throw some bed liner on it for now. Probably going to end up now maybe putting carpet in it. I got a new back seat. The floor, the roof is sorry. It's in sorry shape. It's not rusty, but it's got a ton of surface rust. So that's got to all be wire wheeled. Some sound deadener. But I don't know that I want to pull the back window out and put a headliner in it. So I might do something different. I'm going to have some sort of headliner in there. I hate a car without it, but it's very low on the list. I want this thing running and driving by the end of this month. This is March 2nd, I think, 2nd or 3rd. And by the end of this month, I want to be able to chug this down the road. So, headliner, pretty stuff, way down the road. But yeah, hope you've liked it so far. This is going to be the end of this one. Well, I'll fix the floor and I'll throw it. I'll throw the finish line, or the finished. Excuse me. I will throw the finished product on the end of this video, and then we'll move on to the rest of the stuff. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and see you next time. Thanks.